When someone hurts you, your first instinct is to react, to defend yourself, to explain, to fight back, to make them see how deeply they wounded you. But the truth is, reacting only gives them power. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of pain, replaying the same moment in your mind over and over again. Silence, on the other hand, is strength. Silence is the language of people who know their worth. In 2025, protecting your peace is not selfish, it's survival. We live in a world where everyone wants to prove a point, where shouting louder is mistaken for strength, and where reacting first has replaced thinking deeply. But not everything deserves your reaction. Not everyone deserves your energy. When someone hurts you, it's not your job to fix them, explain yourself, or prove your innocence. It's your job to guard your peace, preserve your self-respect, and quietly walk away from anything that disturbs your soul. There's something incredibly powerful about silence. When you don't react, you break their control over your emotions. You take back the power they tried to steal from you. The one who stays calm has already won. Cutting someone off silently doesn't mean you hate them, it means you finally chose yourself. It means you understand that closure doesn't always come from confrontation. Sometimes it comes from acceptance. You accept that they are who they are, and you refuse to carry the weight of trying to change them. In 2025, it's time to stop explaining your worth to people who refuse to see it. The moment you realize that not everyone deserves access to your heart, your energy, your time, that's the moment you start healing. You don't need to block them out of anger. You can simply detach with peace. You can wish them well, but from afar, because not every goodbye needs to be loud, not every ending needs to be explained. Some people write their own exit by how they treat you. All you have to do is let the door close quietly behind them. So when someone hurts you this year, don't react, respond with silence. Walk away with grace. Your peace is too precious, your energy too valuable, and your growth too important to waste on people who don't understand your heart. Silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the quiet revolution of the strong, those who no longer chase closure, but choose freedom. Silence is often misunderstood. People think staying quiet means you're weak, that you're avoiding the truth, or that you're afraid to stand up for yourself. But silence is not weakness, it's strength wrapped in wisdom. When someone hurts you, it's natural to want to respond, to defend your heart, to make them feel the same pain they caused you. But reacting only ties you to their chaos. It keeps you connected to the very energy that wounded you. The person who can stay calm in the middle of offense has already won the inner battle. Because silence isn't about surrender, it's about control. When you choose not to react, you take your power back. You refuse to let someone else dictate your emotions. You show them that they can no longer pull your strings or manipulate your peace. Silence says, you no longer have access to my energy. It's the quiet language of boundaries, the invisible line that says you respect yourself too much to argue, explain, or prove your worth. In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, silence speaks volumes. It says you're no longer moved by noise. You've found peace in stillness. There's a deep kind of confidence in not reacting. It shows emotional maturity. It means you've learned that peace is more valuable than being right, that protecting your heart matters more than proving a point. Every time you stay calm instead of exploding, you grow stronger. You teach yourself that not every situation deserves your response, not every insult deserves your attention, and not every person deserves your explanation. Silence gives you space to think, to breathe, to heal, and most importantly, to rise above the things meant to bring you down. In 2025, silence is your superpower. It's how you protect your mind in a noisy, reactive world. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest, the calm one is. Because silence isn't about ignoring others, it's about valuing yourself. When you stay silent, you aren't losing the battle, you're mastering it. You're showing that peace can't be provoked, that maturity can't be mocked, and that strength doesn't need to shout. The next time someone hurts you, remember silence is not weakness. It's wisdom that speaks louder than words ever could. Protecting your peace is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. When someone repeatedly disrespects or hurts you, it's not your responsibility to keep giving them chances to do it again. Protecting your peace sometimes means choosing distance over explanation, silence over confrontation, and peace over people. You don't have to announce that you're cutting someone off. You can simply start detaching quietly. The most powerful decisions are made in silence, without drama, without anger, and without the need to prove anything. You don't walk away because you hate them. You walk away because you love yourself enough to stop tolerating what breaks your spirit. In a world that glorifies staying connected, walking away can feel uncomfortable. But peace doesn't live in constant noise or conflict. It lives in boundaries. Protecting your peace means recognizing when something or someone no longer contributes to your growth. It's not about being cold or heartless, it's about being wise. You realize that not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Some people were only lessons, not lifetime companions. And when their season in your life is over, holding on only creates more pain. Letting go silently is a declaration of strength, a statement that says, I choose peace over chaos. When you protect your peace, you stop chasing after explanations from people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop begging for love where it's not freely given. You stop investing energy into people who drain you emotionally. Cutting someone off silently doesn't mean you wish them harm, it means you wish yourself healing. You understand that the more you chase peace, the less you need validation. It's not your job to convince others of your worth. It's your job to guard the parts of you that make life meaningful. In 2025, protecting your peace means mastering the art of emotional detachment. It's learning to walk away without guilt and love yourself without apology. It's realizing that sometimes silence is the only closure you need. You can love people from a distance, forgive them quietly, and still choose yourself boldly. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, is worth losing your peace over. It's not selfish to protect it. It's survival. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace. In life, there will always be people who misunderstand your silence, who question your distance, and who label your boundaries as arrogance. But that's not your burden to carry. When you decide to protect your heart and walk away from toxic energy, you don't need to defend that choice. Growth often requires quiet separation, not loud justification. You don't need to explain why you stopped texting, why you no longer answer calls, or why you've outgrown certain relationships. The truth is, people who value your presence will never put you in a position where you have to explain your absence. When you reach a place of emotional maturity, you understand that your peace doesn't need to be defended. The old version of you might have felt the need to explain everything to prove your heart, to clarify your intentions, to justify your boundaries. But now you've learned that not everyone deserves that access. Some people will twist your words, manipulate your kindness, or use your honesty against you. So instead of explaining yourself, you simply move differently. You don't announce your healing, you live it. You don't announce your distance, you create it. You stop talking about what you'll do and start showing it through your silence. In 2025, peace is personal. It's not up for debate. You don't have to tell anyone why you're done trying, done explaining, done engaging. When you realize that people only hear what they want to hear, you stop wasting words on those committed to misunderstanding you. Your energy is sacred. Save it for people who actually value it. When you choose not to explain yourself, you take back your power. You remind yourself that your decisions don't require permission, that your healing journey doesn't need validation. People who genuinely care will understand your silence. They'll sense your peace without needing a paragraph to explain it. Those who don't will keep questioning it, and that's how you'll know it's time to let them go. You owe no one an explanation for putting yourself first. Growth doesn't always need to be explained. Sometimes it just needs to be lived quietly, confidently, and without apology. Closure is something many people chase, believing that if they just talk things through, they'll find peace. But the truth is, not every story gets a clear ending. Not every person who hurt you will apologize, and not every situation will make sense. Sometimes, closure doesn't come from confrontation. It comes from acceptance. It comes from realizing that you can't force someone to understand the pain they caused or expect them to feel remorse. The peace you're looking for isn't found in their explanation, it's found in your decision to let go and move on quietly. There's incredible strength in choosing to accept things as they are, rather than trying to make them what you wish they were. Acceptance doesn't mean you're okay with what happened. It means you've decided not to let it control you anymore. It means you've released the need for answers and replaced it with peace. When you stop seeking closure from people who can't give it, you free yourself from the emotional weight of waiting. You stop giving power to the same hands that broke you. You begin to rebuild, not because they made it right, but because you chose to heal without their help. In 2025, real closure is no longer about having the final word, it's about having inner peace. You don't have to meet, argue, or explain your side one more time. You can close the chapter in your own heart, quietly, without the need for validation. Some people simply can't understand the depth of your pain because they were never meant to, and that's okay. You can move forward with love, with forgiveness, and with strength, knowing that letting go is not weakness, it's wisdom. You'll know you've found closure when their name no longer stirs emotion, when the memory no longer hurts, and when you can think of what happened and simply breathe. That's the moment you've won. The moment you realize that peace was never in their apology. It was always in your decision to stop waiting for it. Closure isn't something someone gives you, it's something you give yourself. It's when you choose freedom over bitterness, healing over hate, and silence over explanation. That's the kind of closure that lasts forever. Walking away is not about giving up, it's about rising above. It takes real courage to step back from something or someone that once meant everything to you. The easy thing would be to stay, to fight, to keep proving your worth to people who can't see it. But walking away silently means you've reached a higher level of strength, one where peace matters more than pride. You no longer need to argue, explain, or defend yourself. You've learned that not every battle deserves your energy, and that sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to simply let go. Choosing to walk away without anger is one of the purest forms of self-love. It's saying, I choose myself. It's understanding that love should never come at the cost of your mental peace. You can love someone and still recognize that their presence no longer supports your growth. You can forgive someone and still decide they no longer deserve a place in your life. Walking away doesn't mean you stopped caring. It means you care enough about yourself to stop bleeding for people who never tried to stop your pain. In 2025, walking away gracefully is the new strength. The old version of you might have chased, begged, explained, but the healed version of you understands that peace is more valuable than validation. You no longer need closure to move on, and you no longer need apologies to forgive. You've learned that silence speaks louder than words, and that distance can be the kindest response. It's not about being cold-hearted. It's about being wise enough to protect your spirit. When you walk away with peace instead of bitterness, you take your power back. You don't leave with hate, you leave with healing. You carry no resentment, only gratitude for the lesson. Because every person who hurt you taught you something about yourself, about love, about boundaries. And now, you walk away not to punish them, but to protect you. That's what self-love truly looks like. Choosing peace even when it's painful, choosing growth even when it means goodbye, and choosing silence when you could have shouted. In that quiet eggs, it lies your greatest strength, the power to walk away with dignity, peace, and freedom. At the end of the day, life isn't about how loudly you respond, it's about how peacefully you rise. Silence, distance, self-respect, acceptance, and the courage to walk away are not signs of weakness, they are marks of evolution. Every time you choose not to react, you protect your peace. Every time you choose distance over drama, you preserve your dignity. Every time you refuse to explain yourself, you honor your growth. Every time you accept what you cannot change, you free your soul. And every time you walk away silently, you prove that strength doesn't need to scream, it simply moves on. In 2025, make a promise to yourself. Stop giving your energy to people who drain it and start giving it to the life that deserves it. Stop fighting battles that don't build you and start protecting the calm that keeps you sane. Don't react, don't chase, don't explain, just grow. Let silence be your power, peace be your protection, and walking away be your victory. This year, don't fight to be understood, fight to stay peaceful. Don't seek revenge, seek restoration. Don't lose yourself trying to hold on, find yourself by letting go. The most powerful move you'll ever make is to protect your heart without making noise. So when someone hurts you, don't react, respond with peace. Don't argue, rise. Don't cling, release. Walk away silently and watch how your silence will echo louder than any words ever could. Because real strength is not in how you fight for attention, but in how gracefully you let go of what's not meant for you. So protect your peace, guard your heart, choose silence, choose freedom, and remember the one who walks away with peace has already won.